sports games are making more money now than ever before. And they are the worst they've ever been. So the question here isn't just why is FC or 2K bad right now? The real question is, how did the entire genre get to this point at the same time across every sport in every major studio? NFL Madden, NBA 2K, NHL games, FIFA series, hell, even MLB The Show. Because that cannot be a coincidence. There must be a pattern. And I think I know why. And look, this is not just nostalgia talking. Older sports games weren't perfect, they had their limits. NBA 2K in the early 2010s had better moves variety and more fun gameplay than today, but at the same time they were more limited in terms of animations and game modes. FIFA had lower graphical fidelity. Hockey and American football games had simpler tactical systems and controls. But none of that really mattered, because they were genuinely fun to play. The gameplay felt natural. Immersion was there because presentation felt like watching an actual real TV broadcast. The offline modes had actual freaking depth. I mean, take a look at NHL 14 on PlayStation 3, one of the best hockey games ever made, if not the best. The series hasn't touched that quality ever since. How about FIFA? Well, today's FC games look like Fortnite. Cartoonish, glossy, animations are fucked up. Gameplay is more ping-pong than football, and it used to be way better back then. And tennis is the weirdest case, because the best tennis games right now are made by solo indie developers with tiny budgets. Those games don't look 2020s, but play way better than bigger titles. How about baseball? Well, it hasn't changed almost at all in the last 10 years. And American football has essentially regressed over the years, especially with glitchy physics. I had way more fun playing mid-2010s Madden than anything they've shipped in the last few years. So yeah, this is happening across every major sport. There is stagnation and often regression. That's a clear pattern. And hey, if you want to buy those older sports games, then check out the store linked below the video. That's the one I've been using for a long time now. Solid, reliable, highly recommended. Okay, so what the hell happened with sports games in 2020s? First thing, the death of competition. See, 2000s were booming with it. The 2010s still had some competition between major studios, but the 2020s simply have basically none of it. EA fought Konami for like 2 decades in football. 2K and EA went at it across multiple sports. Like NFL had 2 competing series until around 2005, and NHL had challengers well into the early 2010s. And you know, that competition mattered because it made innovation mandatory. You couldn't just reship the same game over and over. You couldn't drop a seasonal update as a new title. If you stopped improving your game, you stopped existing. The best example is NBA Live, which stopped being competitive and it died really damn quick. Now take a look at 2020s. Football is the only major gaming sport with more than one active title. It has FC series, but also eFootball and UFL. The problem is that all 3 of them are competing for a title of being the best casino possible, not the best football game. So yeah, that's not the same type of competition like in 2000s and 2010s. But every other sport? Monopoly. One studio, no pressure to perform, no accountability for laziness. And we are seeing exactly what happens when that's the case. Stagnation, regression, predatory tactics. And the reason new competition can just show up out of nowhere is licensing. See, sports games are not working like other genres. In shooters, for instance, an indie studio can build something incredible and take on the giants. BattleBit did it. It doesn't need soldier names licensed from Battlefield to compete with EA. Or let's take Path of Exile, which dethroned Diablo without needing Blizzard's IP. Ori didn't need Rayman's license to be a great platformer. But unfortunately, sports games don't work that way. Most gamers want to play as their team with their favorite real players. And without official licenses, you're already at a massive disadvantage before the game even ships. We watched it happen in real time with Pro Evolution Soccer series. For years, PES was the better game, but then they started losing licensing deals and the player base collapsed. And eFootball is all that's left of that series. So look, licenses aren't just a feature in sports games, they are a barrier to entry, and the studios that already have them aren't in a rush to share with others. So we have no competition, and we also don't really have realistic path for challengers. So what does the monopoly do to a gaming genre when there's no pressure to be good? Well, it can focus on generating money and money only without creating a good product. And it can also abuse their customers because those customers have nowhere else to go. Remember when my career in NBA 2K had no in-game purchases? Hell, when player career mode was actually offline and you could still play it long after servers were shut down? Well, that's over for almost 10 years now. Right now, you are renting a character for essentially 2 seasons, and when 2K pulls the plug, it's simply gone. Or perhaps you remember when playing the Ultimate Team was about collecting cards by, and you know, it's crazy concept, but by actually playing the game? Now it's just complete slot machine with a sports skin on it. The reality is that sports games nowadays are not the main product that you are buying. They are simply the vehicle. Developers are not building something for you to enjoy your favorite sport. They are building a sales funnel that moves you towards spending money on pixels that you'll lose access to in like 2 years anyway. And because monetization became the absolute priority and the goal, everything else got deprioritized. Single player modes, offline depth, presentation, physics, animation quality, immersion. All of it takes resources. And why spend resources on those features when fans of the sport will buy the game for Ultimate Team anyway? Why bother? And as a result, football games play terribly offline. 2K tailors its gameplay around my park, not my era. Hockey revolves around World of Shell cosmetic skins and not franchise mode. And Madden has physics bugs that have existed for many years now. So will sports games ever be good again? Honestly, I don't think so. Not structurally, at least. See, these games are now essentially production lines. And if you've ever worked in a big corporation, you know exactly what that process creates. Something where nobody working on the actual product has the full picture. Where people developing the product do not make decisions. And the people who do make decisions are not even fans of the product or the sport. Development production costs will just keep going up probably. Companies will be more profit-driven and greedy, not less. And as older gamers fade away and play less video games, the young generations won't even know how it feels to play a good sports game without predatory monetization. They won't know what immersion in a sports game looks like. And I think that the only scenario where any of these changes is if enough people stop buying new games, or at the very least, stop compulsively buying in-game bullshits. But EA, 2K, Konami, and the likes know that most of us just won't stop. And that's exactly why they are comfortable. And it's why they will keep releasing casinos disguised as sports games. And you know what's the weirdest part? The customers defending these companies. Hell, you will see people defending the current state of sports games even in the comment section of this very video. That's the part that actually baffles me. Not the greed, because greed is predictable and expected. but it's the abused customers who defend the abuser. That's the fucking weird part. So I wonder, what would it actually take for you to stop buying new sports games? Or have you already stopped? And if so, what was the tipping point? If you enjoyed this video, then be a good lad and hit the like button. It costs you nothing and helps spread the word. And if you want to see more videos like this one in the future, consider subscribing to my channel. Videos like this are possible thanks to continuous support of members on my channel. Here is the list of the most dedicated supporters. If you want to become part of the club, click join button under the video or visit my Patreon page. Anyway, that's all from me in this video. Thanks for your time and I'll see you in the next one.